right, so tonight we're going to talk about the Iceland Westfjords knitting tour. And first, let's start with some introductions. My name is Tara Short. I'm the founder and CEO of Green Adventures Tours, and I've basically spent my life creating meaningful travel adventures for women. And since 2010, I started Green Adventures, and we started doing women's trips. And I've been taking women to Iceland since 2017. Green Adventures is a licensed travel agency. And the reason why I wanted to put that out there is because this is a time in the world where it feels like everybody's organizing tours. And when you're looking for an agency or an organization to take you on a trip of a lifetime, you should make sure that they are licensed travel agencies. And check out their reviews. We have hundreds of five-star reviews between Google and We Travel. And what our clients are telling us is this, they also appreciate that when things don't go as planned, we have all the local knowledge and experience in the places that we're traveling to that we can pivot, and we can make changes that seem seamless without diminishing the overall value of the experience. And we have small group, no more than this knitting tour would be no more than 12 authentic and meaningful experiences that we spend a lot of time on working with the people in those places, doing the things that we love. If you look at Green Adventures Tours, most of the trips started off as places that I wanted to go. And I thought, I go do it. I'm like, everybody needs to do this, so that I want to share that passion with others. And the same with all of our tour leaders who attend these trips as well. As these are places we love. We want to help you fall in love with people, places, and ecosystems. And the way to do that is to find really great, meaningful experiences and the people there who can tell those authentic stories. And lastly is that we are your first adventure buddy. So if you come on a trip not knowing anybody, you will know your tour leader. In this case, that would be me. I will be the one who helps answer questions in the WhatsApp chat groups. I always send out pre-departure packets. So when you show up on a trip, if you don't know a person on that tour right away, you'll know me. But people do sign up solo. If you don't have a roommate, that's the beautiful thing about all women's trips, is that there's always guaranteed a roommate. And in some cases, on some tours, Iceland's one of them. If you wanted to guarantee your own room, you could choose a single supplement upgrade, and we can make sure you have your own room throughout the whole tour too. Okay, so that's Green Adventures in a nutshell. That's me, Tara Short. And as you can see, I'm covered from head to toe, literally in wool, thanks to Iceland and thanks to my dear friend Inga. I met Inga in 2023. She's about to introduce herself, but I met her in 2023. She's an amazing guide that I was already in love with Iceland, and she helped me really understand it even more. And I knew from that moment that I was like, I put my claws in. I'm like, I can't let you go. We got to do more tours together. And I said, I'd love to do a knitting tour where we tie in the history of wool. We visit farmers. We learn about the production of wool, and she's like, I've got some ideas, and I know somebody. So from there, let's take it. Let's let Inga introduce herself. Inga, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you, Tara. Yeah, so I'm a Westfjord-born Icelanders. We are sitting here in Bergrós's house in the Westfjords. And so I love my Westfjords. I'm kind of, if anyone asks me, where are you from? I'm always from the Westfjords, even though I have been living part of my adult life in the south. I will always be in the Westfjords, and I always have to come back to the Westfjords at least once a year. If not, I get kind of Westfjord sickness, I call it. And there is something in the mountains, in the sea, in the air. I don't know what it is, but I really need to source my soul with the Westwards all the time. And so, yes, I studied design and couture making, and that's how I came. I was a knitter also. My grandma taught me to knit. And so I was already knitting when I was in school, and one of my teachers was asked about if when I was graduating, if they had any good knitters, because Ístex, the former all of us company, was looking for designers and pattern maker, and that's how I became wool production, working in the wool production industry. And yes, so that's one of my stories. Then I became a lot of other things. Tell you about that when you come to Iceland, here in the Westfjords. And finally, I got to bring tourists and my passion and my beloved friend Bergrós and the wool, everything knitted together with Tara. And we started to present to the American market. We had already been producing tours to the Icelandic market for women here in the Westfjord, but now we were doing it with Tara. So that's a short version of our beautiful story. And we would love to see you here in Iceland, to do, in our Westfjords, to do that with us. So Bergrós, this amazing woman, do you want to introduce yourself, or do you want me to do a little introduction first?
Yeah, you can do a little bit.
A little
Then
bit.
I will take over.
Yes. So Bergrós is also born here in the Westfjord, and we are actually related. And we come from the northern west part of Iceland, where no one lives any longer. And we call ourselves the Westfjord witches. And so when we started, it was before COVID, we had started to talk about doing tours to bring out the heritage of our foremothers, of their handwork, of their knitting and everything they were doing, because the stories is mainly told from men. And it's always about what men do and never about what the women have done in this region. So we felt it was time to change history and talk about women. So we started to make this tour for women. And Bergrós, as a designer, she's a professional designer, because I'm not any longer a professional designer, but Bergrós is full-blown professional designer. She has been that for over 40 years, something like that, 35 years at least. And she now has moved back to the Westfjords and has her designing company here, and is working on beautiful project here in Westfjords, along with the newest project, which is the Westfjord wool. New production completely came out of the factory just a few weeks ago. So Bergrós, do you want to take over?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for beautiful words about me. Good to have a good friend.
Always.
Yes. Yes, about this. This is warm, really, from the factory. And this is a wool I bought from farmers last autumn. And this is a little bit experience. And the outcome is surprisingly nice. And when you come to Iceland and to the Westfjords, I will show it to you. It's special. It's different. And it's it's special for me. I've been in this wool world for a very long time. And to make a wool from the Westfjord is project that I am very fond of. And I am, Ingibjörg just saw it yesterday, and she loves it already. And I think it's going to be something bigger in time.
With time, yeah.
With time.
Definitely.
Yes. And of course we have, the wool from Ístex. We love, this is the unspun wool from Ístex that we use a lot. For example, in this sweater I am wearing. And we also have this wool here, and we will tell you more about later, the tog and Thel, how it is built up and all that. But yes, as Ingibjörg said, I am a designer, and I was born here in Ísafjörður, a knitting designer. And I moved from Ísafjörður when I was 20 years old, and I went to the university learning literature. And I learned also to be a goldsmith. So I am a hand worker also. And I think learn how to be a goldsmith, and a knitting designer is perfect combination. It's the hard and the soft, and I'm always learning new techniques, because when you put something together that people are not usually thinking about, that are fitting, but it fits. So I think the ideas comes from that explosion a little bit. Yeah.
Thank you, Bergrós.
Something, thank you for listening.
So, should we talk about the magic of the Icelandic wool?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I can do that the whole day, remember?
Yes, I remember that. So, yeah.
Yeah, here we have at least, we have Tog and Thel. Do you see it?
Yes.
It's amazing. Here we have this Tog, and we pull it out from Thel.
And the tog is the outer layer, and it's rough and long, and it's more coarse. And you can see it is like a little bit, it curls up if you leave it, and it's always a little bit curly. And the fiber of the long hair is very airy, has a lot of air holes in it. And then you have the Thel.
That's very soft.
It's like the merino of our wool, of our sheep. And that's the inner layer.
And sometimes we make something just from the inner layer, or just from the outer layer, Tog. But sometimes we mix it together. It depends on what we want to have, what the outcome we want to have.
Yes.
I love it.
So
it's very special material.
And that's a nice thing. When you come here to Iceland, we'll have you work with this and touch it and feel it and see the difference and what it is. And it's also very interesting when we go to the mills, the spinning mills, and where they do the yarn, to see how it becomes the yarn that we then buy to use in our products.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the next slide is about our production of Ístex, which we are using in the Lopapeysa. Do we have our Lopapeysa with us? So
here,
So our project here in the Westfjord is a mini Lopapeysa, a doll-sized Lopapeysa. It's not so small, but it's small. And in the old days, also today, you see that? That's our project here in the Westfjords. A beautiful little sweater to learn all the small technical details of reading the pattern, to making the sweater with no seams, because this is completely seamless sweater. So let's talk about the wool again. So we were talking about the Tog and the Thel, and then we have the production of unspun wool, which is like a mixture of the Tog. Can you show it again? The Tog, which is this one here, and the Thel. The unspun is made from both of them. So it's a little bit rougher like that, but it's also stronger. And then we knit our Lopapeysa out from unspun in usually 2-ply or sometimes 3-ply, depending how big knitting needles we want to use. But with our Lopapeysa project, with this one, we use a spun Lopi, the Istex Lopi, and because that's easier to knit with. It's more technical to knit with the other, and we didn't want to complicate it too much. But that you will learn all about different wool and how it is made and so on when you come here, and what is the difference and what you have to know about when you are knitting Icelandic sweater if you want to knit it out from unspun. Okay, it's more delicate. So that's the Ístex Lopi, the most sold here in Iceland. But now there are also a lot of mini mills, and there are one mini mill in the Westfjord, one in the south, and one in the north east of Iceland. And where is
right.
Iceland? Tara, you
Tell
wanna?
us, Inga.
We are
Where is
sitting.
Iceland?
Yeah, we are sitting right in the Atlantic
Can you wave?
Ocean.
Are you waving? We can see
Can
you.
you see us? Yeah.
No, like I was joking that we can see you on this map if you wave.
Yeah, you see us waving on the map. So we are sitting right in Iceland on the far north west peninsula. So you see there's a small peninsula, like the head of Iceland, we call it. That's the Westfjord, and that's where me and Bergrós are sitting. We are close to Greenland, and we have short summers and long winters up here. And so this is the itinerary that we take on when we go on our tour. We land in Keflavik out on the Reykjanes Peninsula, the furthest south on the peninsula, and then we drive up all the way to the Westfjords, and we stay in hotel in the Westfjords which is like a small countryside hotel in one of the fjords. And then we go, we stay 2 nights there. So we have knitting workshop there, and we go around there to visit also the area. It's a beautiful protected nature reserve over there, and then it also part of it also has some farm areas. And sometimes we can meet up with the farmers when they are herding the sheep out there and see them like doing the réttir thing, but that's not, I mean, we can't guarantee it, but that's we always try to do that when we are up there. And then we go and visit farmer on the way. When we go to Ísafjörður for 4 nights, on the way we stop in a farm and are hosted by a young farmer that takes us in and shows us her sheep and talks about her life as a farmer, as a young farmer in Iceland. And yes, and we can touch all the wool we want.
And the sheep.
And the sheep, yes. And then we
And
go to yes.
Oh, I was just going to point out, Inga, is just that what people should really understand is that, like, if you have a friend who says, I've been to Iceland, most likely they have not been to this part of Iceland. Most tourists fly into Keflavik and then they go to the south coast. And so a few people do drive up to the Westfjords, but this is truly like a once in a lifetime trip to be able to go up there, not just to sightsee, but to actually be with the 2 women who were born in the Westfjords and also who are, so intimately connected to wool and the land.
Yeah. So and so that's one of our strongholds on this tour, that we know so many people here and we have connections, and we go and do and see things that it's not doable for everyone to do. So it's not a touristic thing that we are doing all the time. So it's also just like with local people that we just know, and we use our connections and friendship and our cousins to help us out on this tour. Yeah. So that's one of the beauty.
And the way that this trip is set up is that you have morning workshops with Bergrós to do. She'll be doing teaching you how to make a traditional Lopapeysa, dowel-sized Lopapeysa, but also telling stories and other handcraft products that she's or projects that she's made. And then in the afternoon, you will leave the workshop and go on guided excursions with Inga and Bergrós. And like she said, you'll meet some of their you might meet relatives they all are related to somebody. So like, that's my cousin. And you'll learn about the history. A lot of it's from their own perspective, like growing up in that place. And then also the culture and of Iceland too. And as we already mentioned, you'll see the lesser traveled and more authentic Iceland. One of the things that I've learned as we started creating knitting tours is that there are knit alongs, and then there are workshop based tours. And then there are also workshop based tours that people just do a little bit at a time. They make like small crafts each way without really fully diving into a project that is it's a learning experience about the people in place in addition to making something that is authentic Iceland. So this is more than a knit along. As I mentioned, you'll have your workshops with Bergrós in the morning and stories. And then what we love is it's a small group. So this really creates that experience. It feels like you're traveling with a family instead of a tour. And you'll visit family farms and studios that are exclusive that you wouldn't be able to just walk in. One, you don't speak the language, so they'd be very surprised if you just show up. And two, that you have to know or to be have to know the people that are there. And you have to know what's available, and every detail is thoughtfully planned, so you can just simply enjoy the journey. And this is also what I love too, perfectly timed for the fall colors and a chance to see the northern lights.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah, definitely, because in August, after like middle of August, we can start to see northern lights here in Iceland. And you see we're quite far north here in the Westfjords. We very often see northern lights here, which is really add-on, we can say that, to our tour.
So I'd like to say that we're this trip is about wool, stories, and the Westfjords, and making the Lopapeysa sweater, which Bergrós is going to tell you a little bit more about what the Lopapeysa is, if you're not familiar with it. But these are just some of the highlights here, and we've talked about them briefly as we've been going through. But the bottom says "and other surprises." I really think that's what makes this tour even more special. You have all these guaranteed experiences, and then all the other things that Inga and Bergrós come up with on the tour itself, like surprise visits to maybe a different farm that wasn't on the itinerary, or another hot spring, or a Viking historic site. And so this is truly 90% planned and 10% room for spontaneous adventure and fun.
Mm-hmm.
We always need room for surprises or things that come up along the way, because it is something always comes our way. Yeah, one way or another. Yeah, so that's nice.
The magic in the air. It's good to enjoy that while you are in the place. You never know what is happening, but when so many women are together, always happening something exciting. It has always been like that.
Yes,
in our trips.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's always
sorry,
go ahead, Bergrós. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying there's always some magic in those trips, even though I'm telling it myself, because in every day something is happening that you can't really tell people about unless they come here. The magic between all the ladies, and when they come here,
and the friendship that
and
builds up.
Yes, there's something in the air, and that's something you can't really tell about. You have to come and
to experience the magic.
Yes.
Yeah. And there has always been such a beautiful connection between the participants. That's something that we has a valor and makes a lifelong friendship between people.
And that's that's that little things are the reason, why you want to do it, really. For me, myself, it's always those little magical things, sentences between ladies. And when they look out the window and I see that they love to stay here and they're enjoying themselves. That's the magic.
Yeah, magical moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
And another thing tells a good story also, that some of them have come back to our knitting tours.
Yeah.
So it has not just been one time. So that's a beautiful thing.
That tells us something.
Yeah. That we are doing a good job.
Yes.
I think, and we are quite a lot of fun to be with.
Yeah, I think
between Tara, me, and Bergrós, we have a lot of fun with these women. Yeah.
So Bergrós, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Lopapeysa sweater? What is the Lopapeysa sweater?
Yeah, the Lopapeysa sweater. Well, it's a very special kind of thing, really. Well,
I can hold it up.
As Inga said before, the story, well, it's quite a story, and we will tell you better later when you come. But when you knit this sweater, you start here, down here, and there is a what is the name for this?
Pattern.
The pattern is here, and well, that's kind of a pattern.
The rustic words.
Yeah, the rustic word. Yeah. Well, the most special thing with this sweater is that it is seamless, and that's something that is nice to learn, because there are many techniques to learn that you can use in other things also. And of course, it's nice that you can knit your own sweater. Icelandic wool is not expensive. It's rather cheap, yet it should be more expensive, I think. And I think it will be after a few years, because our sheeps are getting fewer, and the farmers are fewer and fewer. So at least now that's very nice that everyone can have their own sweater. It's knitted all around, all the way up. The sleeves are knitted, the body is knitted, and then everything is put in a one needle, and then this part is knitted.
The yoke.
The yoke. We call it the yoke. And it looks maybe a little bit difficult, but it is not. And when we are sitting all together, we help all each other. And of course, it's always like that. Some people are used to knitting, some people can't knit, but everyone, well, and far from, I mean, until now, everyone has been happy after knitting this.
And you've made sweater maker. I mean, people have made sweaters from just coming and learning the garter stitch and then making sweaters. Now, Inga did do probably 40% of that sweater for them. No, but they go home and finish it, because there is that, like, as a beginner knitter myself, and as a beginner knitter myself who's never made a sweater, I'm still working on a scarf. I did have a hat somewhere along the line. What you find as a beginning knitter is that you struggle with, like, if you make a mistake, you would like somebody who knows how to fix the mistake. And that's what's great about these workshops, is as you're learning the different techniques in knitting, and if you run into trouble, you can ask Bergrós, you can ask Inga, you can ask other people in the group. And I think the thing that really, like, surprised me when we first started doing knitting tours was that people come at all different levels, all different skill levels. And just like a hiking trip or a multi-sport trip, you have people who are more advanced who are right there to help the people who are just beginning in a positive, supportive environment. Nobody's holding anybody back. It's because we all have a like-minded interest in this. I just think that if you come knowing how to just do the garter stitch, your expectations should be really low. So maybe you just learn how to do a sleeve, or maybe you just learn how to ... So that don't have the expectation that you are going to finish even this doll size sweater at the end. But you are welcome to come if you share an interest in this and a desire to learn, and the flexibility to just make mistakes, because that's with learning anything like this, you kind of need to be willing to make the mistake. Can you explain why we're... Oh, I was just... You can... After I... So, but you can follow up with what I just said. But then could you also explain why we're doing a doll size sweater? So take it away, Bergrós.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, doll size sweater. That's, of course, because of the time. You know, time is limited. And doll sweater is the easiest way, I think, to learn it in such a short time. And I wanted also to talk about that, you know, this sweater has pattern on the sleeves and here. And we don't have to have it like that. We can skip the pattern here on the sleeve and on the body, and just knit all up here and learn how to make the yoke. So I think everyone will finish one sweater because
it depends on the level of the people. So if you are a really good professional one, you can do a pattern below here on the sweater.
Yes.
If you're not, if you just like Tara said, no garden stitch, you will skip this part and just do up here, and then you have this part to knit and learn that, because this is just to make it look good also, to have this lower
this is
pattern.
a traditional, Lopi sweater.
Yes.
Because later when you come home, you want to maybe knit a sweater for yourself or your children, then you know the technique, and then you have enough time to make pattern everywhere you want.
Mm-hmm.
So this can just be white here, down there, like the body. You understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I love about this too is that we're not doing workshops in a conference room. We're going to Bergros's house. And Bergros's house, not only does it look over the fjord in Ísafjord, so let me just step back. We are in a country hotel, and we do the first 2 nights, and we have a dedicated knitting space there. And then for 4 nights, we're in Ísafjordur, and we stay at a hotel that's just like down the street, a few steps from Bergros's house. And so in the morning we go to Bergros's house, and her house is like, it's just art everywhere. It's like a museum, that like an art museum. So there's plenty of things to talk about and see, but this is also, you see, it's very roomy to spread out, and lots of light. And this is where we do, where you learn your techniques here.
And you can go
Go
to the balcony and look at the view to the sea. So you always have the sea in front of you while you're knitting. So that's something I would say.
And sometimes we have seals.
Yes, I saw there was a seal here outside my balcony yesterday.
And tell us a little bit about the artist studio that we get to go visit.
Yeah, I can do that. Here nearby, maybe 20 minutes walking, there is
but we can also drive there. We sometimes drive there too.
Yeah, yeah. It's an old factory. It's there was a lady who changed this house. It hasn't been used for maybe 20 years or something, but in the old time it was used as making nets for seamen. So this is a fishing village. So it's all about the fish in the old days. So there's a big house that one lady from Ísafjörður changed it and made it like a studios for artists and architects and many other people. There are maybe 50 people who are in that house doing all kinds of stuff. There are textiles artists, goldsmith. There are
ceramics,
some painters.
Yeah, ceramic.
All kinds
photographers.
Yes. So we will go there. It's very raw or
it's very raw, artisty kind of environment. Yeah, it's beautiful to go and visit.
And good atmosphere in there. My father was there in the old days. He went there to let someone fix his net because he was a seaman. Fisherman, seaman, fisherman. Yeah. And so now I have my art studio there, and I have my threads, my net, really, like my father. Just he didn't have a wool net, of course, but so it's a good atmosphere in there, and very nice to come.
And then in addition to this, I didn't put all the pictures of all the places we're going because there's just some things you just need to experience instead of seeing a slideshow on it. But the point is to know that we see collections that aren't just on display for everybody. We last year we went to the doll collection in the
Yeah.
what was that above? Like it's like a house, but what was the building that we went to where upstairs this woman's doll collection
It's
was
an old
on display by her
warehouse.
sons? An old
Yeah,
warehouse, yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
old
so we went
export-import
upstairs.
house.
Yeah, we saw a movie that we went to another place that showed a movie about what like home film from like what was it, the 80s? What it was like to be the 80s kitchen
Yeah.
in the Westfjords.
And
I'm trying to think of
the,
another one. I mean,
the,
it's stuff
the
like that.
winters in Iceland.
Yeah,
The
the
winters in
winter.
Iceland, yeah. It's those little things that tie into this whole experience that really give you the, oh my gosh, this is so special. And then of
Mhm.
course the farms. You got to meet if you're going to go to a place that's special that we're handling wool and celebrating wool. We have to go meet the sheep that produce that wool, and then also the families that raise them. And you want to share just a little bit about this experience?
Yeah, we visit my aunt.
Mhm.
She is a young lady, a farmer. She's also a nurse and she's working as a nurse, but she has around 100 sheep in her farm. So she has 2 boys and they love to stay in the country and want to have sheep and be a farmer, even though they're both working.
And they have horses too.
They have also horses, yes. And when we went to them last time, she had baked a cake and she had the coffee for us, and she was so nice and told stories about her sheeps and her family. And the ladies, they were so happy about her, taking pictures, and she's adorable. She's like, she was very special and made the day, I would say.
Yeah, that day was.
Yes, it was special. And that was
And when
something.
people come here, I want you to know that when we pull into the driveway, you're not going to see big mega tour buses. You probably won't see any other cars other than the people that live there. And if you've ever done a tour that takes you on a farm tour, that's part of a bigger experience, you might have like you've gone to a coffee plantation in Costa Rica or a dairy farm to learn about the product. They walk you through like it's like just basically like a big cookie cutter tour. This is coming to someone's home. You're
Yeah, this is
invited.
so,
You have
yeah,
cake
so
and whipped
personal.
cream and
Personal.
coffee and talk to them about what it's like. Just have conversations, and
Yeah.
that's what real travel is. And it's very hard to do that. You can't just chat GPT. I want to go visit a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
Exactly.
true, Tara.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we also have a lot of local stores, local yarn stores. We can meet up with people that are dyeing wool and selling wool that they are dyeing with both natural color and artificial colors. And so we can also buy like handmade or hand-colored wool. And and of course, yeah, the women that have always been on coming to our tours, they have like made sure that they fill up every space of their luggage with wool from Iceland. I'm always surprised how much they buy, and it's like, yeah, it's like they use the opportunity being here, buying this cheap wool and filling up all the spaces. So yeah, that's a good thing to do when you come to Iceland, and go with us, the local people that know where to buy things and visit things. So
I'm always surprised how many wool sweaters one thinks they need.
Yes.
that's we can talk about you and some other people that have come here multiple times to Iceland and are always buying new wool products.
I only have three wool products.
You don't.
I do. I have a wool. I have a Lopapeysa. I have my vest, and I have my poncho. Those are my three main investments.
You do not only have one Lopapeysa.
I do.
No, you don't. You have two, and then you have hats too,
And
and
hats and gloves.
and you
Those
have
don't count.
scarf and.
Yes, those things don't count. It's the big investments.
And the
I should
vest.
frame. I should
You
frame.
forget
I should
how much you have
frame.
been.
I have to frame my vest. That thing is an investment. Hand wool. I mean, hand spun, hand dyed. Yeah, but I really do love it. It just it
You will
feels.
have more like next time. You will have more.
I gotta
trip.
make my own.
Yes, that's it.
And then, of course, the Westfjords. Like Iceland is a nature's lover's paradise, and all four corners of Iceland, plus the Highlands, and all the nooks and crannies have some magical component of nature that is just good for your soul. And so not one place is better than the other. Unless you ask someone who's from the West Fjords, they say, what's the best place in Iceland? They say the West Fjords. But I can tell you, coming from the United States and landing in Iceland, just for me, when my feet hit the ground in even at Keflavik International Airport, I feel better. I'm already like charged up with the volcanic energy of that island, the clean air, the Scandinavian simplicity of things, and I absolutely love it. And that's the reason why. I mean, I know that from personal experience how much I love it, but some of our travelers have come back to Iceland 3 or 4 times to do different tours with us just because they love it too. And what the problem with going to Iceland is having gone there. You just can't get enough of it. So beautiful nature everywhere. So this tour can't be we can't take you on a trip, a tour, without having some really beautiful moments in nature. And Inga, when out in the field, she's going to be revealing the stories behind natural history, the folklore. Bergrós will find beautiful things and hold it up and say, this could be a sweater. This could be a piece of art. And you're like, you're right, it could be. So the two of these people are going to use their lens to help you see the beauty even deeper than what is on the surface. And so what you can expect, big fjords that like where the mountains and the sky and the water all seem to go off and to merge as one. We'll see magnificent waterfalls. We'll go into seaside hot springs and geothermal areas. Then we'll look up at night to hopefully see the northern lights. You're going to be exhausted on this trip, not because of knitting or being out. It's because you're up all night looking at the sky. And then also the fall colors. I've been to Iceland so many times, and this was just a couple of years ago. It was my first time being there in September, and to see the fall colors change that landscape was also a really beautiful experience too. I didn't think September could be so perfect, and it really is. So Inga, do you want to tell us a little bit about some of the highlights of some of the places we'll see?
Yes. So for me, the highlights of the Westfjords are, of course, the fjord system here, which is really pretty. The steep mountains and the deep fjords, but there are also all these waterfalls that are falling down the mountains. And we will go and see one of the most beautiful waterfalls called Dynjandi waterfall, which we kind of say is one of the queen of the waterfalls. It's definitely the highlight of the Westfjords waterfall. And then we also go to nature pool by the seaside, which is amazing. Sitting there, just relaxing in a really nice warm water, and you can go out to the sea. You can go and bathe in the sea if you want to on the side. That's just something that is unique, really unique, and like I would say otherly world experience to do. So
And very Icelandic. Icelandic bathing culture is just like Icelandic wool culture. I mean, it is in your bones. It's in your heritage.
Yeah, that
and you'll learn all
is.
about that.
Yes,
And you'll learn all about that.
did my BA theory on the bathing culture of Iceland. So I can tell you all about our bathing culture and how we have been using the baths to not only to relax, but also to meet other people. And yeah, we use them in many different ways. So we'll learn about that. the cultural aspect of it. And then we also we go to different small towns here in the Westfjord, and we visit, of course, historical sites. We learn about how it used to be here, like how the farming life was here and how the fisherman life was, and how that two interconnected between the farmers and the fishermen. Sometimes they were both the same people, just doing different jobs at a different period. And we'll go and visit old turf houses and old fisherman hats and things like that. So unique sites.
What I like about this picture, in this picture, you see the women are knitting in nature. So we can, like, some people like to knit all the time, like Bergrós. She could be having dinner with one hand and knitting with the other. But also participants like to knit when we're in the minibus going from one place to the next or out in nature. So you could always bring your knitting projects along and work in nature if the weather allows. So where do we stay? We have picked hotels and guest houses that are chosen for like comfort and character and location. So in this tour, you're going to be in hotels, 3-star hotels throughout the whole tour. And the countryside hotels give us a chance to view northern lights farther away because we're far away from the city lights. But the hotels that are in Ísafjörður and Reykjavik are walkable to shops, other yarn stores, cafes, the harbor, the shoreline. And so you can, get out and explore a little bit when there's some downtime. And that all the places have cozy gathering spaces for knitting or storytelling, connecting with fellow travelers. So you could go down for happy hour at the bar in Ísafjörður, or you can just meet in the hotel lobby with a few friends and have tea and work on your projects. And then we do have on-site restaurants for easy local dining on some of the places, especially like the countryside hotel. There's nothing around. It's just the hotel, and they have restaurants there, but the food is absolutely delicious. So we aren't just going to have you eating in hotel restaurants. Inga and Bergrós have picked places that they love, that our participants have said, oh my gosh, you got to keep taking us here. And we're going to, take you to those too. And I think there's a huge misconception about what Icelandic cuisine could be. Because I'll tell you, when I brought people there in 2017, so my first time in Iceland was 2016, I remember thinking, what are we going to eat? Is it putrid shark and whale meat? I didn't realize that Iceland had such a culinary experience to enjoy. A lot of the food is fresh from farms or greenhouses or from the sea, and it's presented in a way that is just so delightful, like the experience. You're not just eating, you're experiencing it. A lot of it's there's delicious homemade soups, and of course bread. The desserts, are simple products like dairy and berries from the area, and you can tell that there's a lot of pride in the way that the food is presented to you. And on this tour, you'll notice that it says most meals not included. What does that mean? And why did we have that? Why are we
a lot of energy and stuff? She'd be fun to go with.
Energy. And why are we saying, how come, why are we saying that meals aren't included? Because it's so much easier to just order off a menu what you want than it is for us to plan the highest costs, the 3-course meal that someone who might just have soup will eat, and the others will have their 3-course meal. And so you could order from menu what you want, and then you simply walk up to the host, tell them what you got, and pay with your credit card. There's no splitting of checks, no figuring out who has to pay the tip. There's no tipping at the restaurants. So it's very, very simple to do that, and actually is more economical for you and gives you more flexibility to choose what you want. Okay, so that's why most meals are not included. But if you wanted a guesstimate, lunches are about $30 US, dinners are about $50 US, depending on what you get. Like if you wanted like a main dish and a dessert, but then if you get a beer or wine on top of that, it's going to change your price point. But we've picked places that we know that you're going to get a good quality. You don't have to try to read the Yelp reviews or the reviews on TripAdvisor to see what restaurants are good. And then travel details. How in the world do you get to Iceland? And surprisingly, it's a lot easy. It's pretty easy from North America. There's a lot of direct flights from many U.S. cities, from Minneapolis, Chicago, JFK, Seattle. So this trip is already confirmed, and when you sign up, we send you travel parameters with exact travel times to get to Keflavik International Airport and when to leave Keflavik International Airport. And when you arrive, if you're coming during the tour dates, we will be at the airport to pick you up, and then we drop you off at the end, so you don't have to think about anything. But you're welcome to come in early, and we have hotel suggestions on how to get there, and detailed instructions on how to do that. But Iceland Air during this time of year is going to be the airline that's most likely going to have the flights for you. I wouldn't start off by looking at United or American, your favorite ones, because what you're going to see at first is $2,500 and 25-hour flights, and you're gonna be like, there's no way I can get to Iceland. That's because during the off season, American Airlines, United, for example, they don't have direct flights. They do that during the summer. Iceland Air, though, has consistent flights, and depending on where you're at, it's gonna be 700. And what kind of flight you want? Do you want upgraded to comfort? Do you want to bring your bag, like check your bag or carry on your bag? You're gonna have anything from $750 to $1,300 round trip. Costs. And there are no visas to enter as long as you're within 90 days, which many of you are. I'm the only one who has that problem. And then East Coast flights are typically just 5 hours, but Central time for like Chicago, my flights are 6 hours. If you're coming from the West Coast, you're gonna have 8 hours. But it is easy to get to Iceland. So to sign up on this tour, we have 4 spots available. We'd love to have you join us on the September 18 to 26 trip. You just go to greenadventures.com to reserve your space. You go to the Iceland tours and the Westfjords knitting tour. The cost is $6,995, and you pay a deposit, and you can pay the rest in installments. But we do need your deposit by June 5th if you want to be on the September trip. If you are interested in the September trip, but you're not sure, you need some more time, or you want to, you need a little bit more time than June 5th, just reach out to me and just let me know you're considering it, so we can just plan accordingly without it, we just plan accordingly and talk about your circumstances. Inga, Bergrós, anything else you want to share?
Yes, looking forward to see you in our Westfjords.
Yes. Hope to see you all, and I'm looking forward to have a new group.
Yeah.
And I miss the ladies who were here last year's.
I know the hardest thing about leading these tours is that day one is just getting everybody there, and then saying goodbye. I hate saying goodbye. It's the worst.
Yeah.
That's why people keep coming back, because they don't like saying goodbye either.
Yeah, that's always hard. But,
so does anybody have any questions? Now is the informal part of it. Feel free to ask questions. You can drop them in the chat. Shauna's monitoring that, or you can come on video and chat with us too. Any questions?
I wanted just a question earlier about ribbing. I don't know if you wanted to hop on and ask that, Ellen. And then 2, I did offer bonus points to anybody who was knitting, and I believe you're knitting right now, Ellen.
Yeah.
You got bonus points today.
No, it was just that I thought whoever was talking was having a hard time remembering the word ribbing at the bottom of the sweater.
The English word.
Thank you.
The English
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good add-on, because we were staring at each other like, what was that word? Sometimes
I'm
it seems
sure
like
that
you have an Alzheimer when you don't remember such a common word.
Well, but you also speak multiple languages, and you're spending time talking to each other in your native language, and then you have to switch to speak our language, and it's not like you're actually leading the tour right now. So I think it's amazing that you can speak multiple languages and teach multiple subjects in those languages.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm if it didn't come across enough in this presentation, just how much I Like, I love these two ladies and how much they have really helped me fall in love with knitting. Well, especially Bergrós. I remember the first time I talked to Bergrós, I was recording your story about your just this kind of similar thing of what you're going to learn on this tour. So I don't want to reveal too much of it, but you helped reveal to me the story of like the tradition really of knitting, and that it's more than just creating this scarf or creating gloves. It's a form of protection. It's a form of magic too, and that can be passed on from generation to generation. Not just the physical thing, but the energy too that's inside that. And I really find that to be quite special, especially in a time where this world is all about digital connection. How we can have tangible connections and heartfelt connections through creating for each other.
Yes.
Exactly.
So last opportunity if anybody has any questions in the chat, or you're welcome to also reach out to me by email. I do hope that we will see you in Iceland. And we do offer this tour every year. We have a September sheep roundup where Bergrós teaches us how to make a shawl from her book. And then we have the Westfjords tour, which is a Lopapeysa. So do both.
Yes, definitely do both.
Welcome.
Do both. Yes, thank you. All right, well, thank you both for coming in and joining. Like, it's like a UN experience. We're all from all different parts of the planet right now coming in to talk about this, and thanks for making time to share your story with people, and we'll see you in a few months.
Yes, and now this is a celebration day in Iceland. There is elections here.
Oh,
so that's we are going to go partying tonight and seeing who is winning.
Yeah.
all right, great. Well, have fun.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
too. Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Nice to stay with you.
Yeah,
Bye.
nice.
Bring it back, back.